things just took a shocking turn as we got more information regarding the Oilers' search for a goaltender this offseason and the price they may have to pay. All that more today here on Oilers Digest, as we are very, very close to 4,000 subscribers. So if you haven't done so already, folks, make sure you hit that button down below to subscribe for any and all Oiler news as we get closer to training camp. Now, with the Oilers in looking for potential new goaltenders, whether it be a starter to replace Stuart Skinner or a backup for Stuart Skinner to replace Calvin Pickard, the Oilers are taking many looks at various goaltenders around the NHL, and we'll take a look at that with the price isn't right there, and the Oilers with the price that they are willing to pay with goaltender. Obviously, we haven't seen anything done yet by Stan Bowman, but when the Oilers are looking for goaltenders, they think Nico Daws of the New Jersey Devils will hit waivers and thinks Michael DiPietro will be on Boston because they're too worried to lose him into waivers there. So the odd man out, maybe Jonas Korpisalo there. And also for goaltending, it looks like the Oilers may be looking at bringing one goaltender on a PTO, according to the Too Much Hockey podcast side, or along with two forwards to go with that one goalie. Might be a guy like James Reimer, Elias Samsonov, and for the forwards, it could be anybody. It could be Clean Costin, it could be many other options around there in the NHL, but it looks like they will be bringing in a goalie for sure there. But for goalie options for in the NHL to trade for Nico Daws, one of the options there of the New Jersey Devils. There a very crowded crease in New Jersey, so he could be the odd man out there. A product of that 2020 draft there for the New Jersey Devils, winning gold with Canada at the 2020 World Junior Hockey Championships. There, and you can see the AHL stats in the NHL. Very inconsistent since he turned pro there in the New Jersey organization. Could be a reclamation project for the Edmonton Oilers to see what they have there with the new goalie coach there with Peter Aubry. Who knows, something might be there with Nico Daws, but we all know about Michael DiPietro, the AHL stats there. Phenomenal numbers there with the Providence Bruins, the baby Bruins down there in the American Hockey League, on Rhode Island with Michael DiPietro, and it makes sense for the Boston Bruins to keep a guy like DiPietro there to be a running mate alongside Jeremy Swayman there. It could be a lot better than Jonas Korpisalo there, but the 24-year-old German native Nico Daws has played 52 NHL games since being drafted by New Jersey in 2020. He's shown good results inconsistently with the Devils there. I mean, consistently inconsistent. You can't knock him on that, but he's only managed a career .898 save percentage, and more concerning, Daws had a brutal .893 save percentage in 34 games in the AHL last year there, and unfortunately, Daws is the weaker option of the two candidates, and the Oilers will only have a chance to claim him too, as many other teams will be ahead of them in the waiver order, and teams that also need goaltending help, as they know the Oilers need goaltending help. I mean, we might see a team like, the Vegas Golden Knights try to screw over the Oilers as they've done in years past there with Xavier Borgo there. But the third option for the Oilers with Bob Stauffer on the Oilers Now about goaltending, we hit the Daws point, hit the DiPietro point, and now it is time to talk about the guy we talked about a few days ago, Sebastian Cossa. Confirmed the mystery man he was talking about was Sebastian Cossa. Thinks the price will be a first, as we pointed out. With Sebastian Cossa, the Detroit Red Wings, they have no reason to trade him at this point there, even though they do have another young goalie prospect in the pipeline with Trey Augustine there. I mean, the Red Wings will know that the Oilers do need goaltending help, and when the Oilers inquired, I'm sure the price for Cossa was a little bit too high, and of course it did. What Bob Stauffer alluded to there was a first there, but you know what? A guy like Cossa, I mean, he might be very well worth the first when it comes to Dan Watson, the Grand Rapids Griffins head coach there, the AHL affiliate for the Detroit Red Wings there, and the team that Cossa spent the most time with over the past couple of years. As he's committed, dedicated, he wants to get better, he wants to be the guy, whether it's in Grand Rapids. I know he's going to be challenging mentally for a spot in Detroit. We're looking for him to take that next step and be a good starting goaltender for us in Grand Rapids. If not, he's going to be in Detroit there. And as I mentioned the other day, could be a high pressure situation for Cossa in Edmonton, even though he was in Edmonton with the WHL Edmonton Oil Kings there. I mean, that's a lot of pressure on a goalie like that to back up another huge, I don't want to say question mark, but he is kind of a question mark with Stuart Skinner in Edmonton there. I mean, Calvin Pickard came in. He was the veteran backup, saved Stuart Skinner's bacon multiple times there, so to throw the reins on a guy like Sebastian Cossa when the going gets tough, again, could be something that the Oilers have to take a look at there and sort of go towards a veteran option other than a young goaltender there. I mean, it would help the Oilers further on down the road there, but they are in a win-now situation, and you can see the Oilers, with the first, they only have, the 2027 and 2028 first-round picks there, and that would be something that would be well worth it for a trade deadline pickup rather than a young goaltender at the start of the season. But the trade speculation with Cossa in the Edmonton Oilers, I mean, it's brought many interesting articles here from Heavy.com. A trade idea sees the Oilers dealing a $25 million defenseman for a top goalie prospect there. Now you're wondering, who is that? Is it Darnell Nurse? Are they trading Darnell Nurse? We will see in just a second there, but the Oilers would be acquiring Sebastian Cossa in Justin Hall. Again, this is only, a trade idea for fun. I mean, what else is there to do during the summer there? But the Oilers receiving Cossa in Justin Hall there, and they would be giving up Mattias Ekholm, a 2026 second rounder, and a 2028 third round pick. Now, on both sides, I could see why they wouldn't do this. Now the Oilers, giving up a guy like Mattias Ekholm, sure, he's turning 35 years old this season, but still, he is a very steady defenseman there. I mean, on the left side, when you get rid of Ekholm, I mean, you have Darnell Nurse and Brett Kulak there, and then those guys, again, aren't getting any younger there with age, but Mattias Ekholm provides the rock-steady defense pair with Evan Bouchard. Sure, had a rough Stanley Cup final, but still, you don't get rid of a guy like that. You absolutely do not get rid of a guy like that. And with, the Detroit Red Wings, I think Stevie Yzerman would laugh, Stan Bowman right off the phone if he even tried to propose this there. I mean, a first or, a top prospect in the Oilers organization, and the deal would get done. But again, that deal, sure, that's why trade proposals are out there for a reason. They're only proposals. I mean, if you take the first deal you see, I mean, the league would look a lot different there. But Edmonton would also get Hull, who can be a third pairing defenseman and help replace the void of Ekholm. I mean, whoever wrote this article does not, I mean, you can't really compare the two players. Ekholm has been fantastic his entire career, and then Justin Hall has bounced around from team to team there. I saw him with the Toronto Maple Leafs during that Canadian division year, and sure, the Maple Leafs shut down McDavid and co for a few games that year, but it wasn't just because of Justin Hall there. Again, a very streaky player, and Detroit also gets off Hull's contract, which is key, but the Oilers, they're not a cap dump type of team there. They are trying to get the bang for their buck there with all the high value contracts on the team there. When it comes to Justin Hall's Jay Fresh page, sure, he's okay defensively, but again, that is not a replacement for Mattias Ekholm. And even so, just looking at Justin Hall, he plays the right side, meanwhile Mattias Ekholm plays the left side there. So again, wouldn't be a very comparable replacement there. And again, using the word replacement for Mattias Ekholm for a guy like Justin Hall, very insulting there. But the Oilers are in no rush to try to figure out their goaltending situation there. I mean, Stan Bowman is taking it day by day, but I mean, Justin Hall isn't even projected to be in the Red Wings lineup there heading into the season there. So it would be pretty much, trading Mattias Ekholm a second and a third there for pretty much just Sebastian Cossa. I mean, Justin Hall would be down in Grand Rapids this year. But as I mentioned, like I said, Stan Bowman in no rush. The evaluation isn't something you do just once or twice and then it's over with. When I say that, it's not just looking at the goaltending we have, but also what's out there and the options that you have. So it's going to be a process that we're going to go through. I don't think we're going to come to a decision tomorrow or the next day. It's really about taking in the information and eventually where we're going to settle on the thing that makes sense with the evaluation. And part of the evaluation is the guys that we have, and if it makes the most sense to keep this group, that's certainly a possibility. So I don't know, we're not at the point where we're definitely bringing in new goalies other than the one that I mentioned on a PT over there. So Stan Bowman, I know many Oiler fans, including myself, are thinking, why make a move right now. But again, panic moves just for the sake of making a move is how you end up with a guy like Jack Campbell in the Oilers lineup there. And again, that is something we hope we never ever see. But that is it for today's video, folks. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below for any and all Oiler news, and take care. Have a great rest of the day, folks. I'm out.